Hey, and welcome back to another episode of ABA My Life, where we're using the science of applied behavior analysis to make life hacks, basically. So, I want to talk about a simple concept that's always misunderstood, and there are two vocabulary words that you hear every day, but they're not necessarily used in the correct form. So, the two words we'll be talking about today are reinforcement and punishment. And I'm not gonna dive too deep into negative punishment, negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement. But I just want to talk about the definition simply and how they're misused and how we can try to rethink how we're using these words to improve what we do in our lives or the lives of our students or clients in whatever profession that we're serving in. So let's first talk about punishment. Punishment is simply a decrease in behavior. That's what it is. A decrease in behavior. So let me give you an example. Working in the Department of Juvenile Justice, at times some of the youth there do things that gets them put into CO, or other people call it confinement. And one of the things that they do is they like to flood the toilets. Their youth. And even adults probably do that too. That might be in that situation of being incarcerated. So when they do that, that is one of the things that they call punishment. They have to take them. They go into that confinement area. Now remember, it's only punishment if it decreases the behavior. So when you start having a person that continuously repeats this, they might actually like going to confinement. They might like being by themselves. And that's when we have to start looking at replacement behaviors of how they may be able to get that isolation without, flooding their toilet. Now, on the other end, let's look at the term reinforcement. Reinforcement is simply an increase in behavior. Again, reinforcement is an increase in behavior. So let's go to the teaching profession. That's one of my favorite ones to always talk about. A lot of times teachers try to get away from candy, which I agree when it comes to like reinforcement of behavior, and they like to use verbal praise. That's great. You give verbal praise, you say this is the reinforcement because you think that's going to get an increase in a certain behavior. Let's just say that it's answering a problem or doing the work. And some kids, they need that verbal praise that's so reinforcing for them to go. But you have a lot of students that they don't want to be out loud, being heard, basically saying, oh, this person has been doing good. That might actually be a punishment to them. That could really punish their behavior and actually make a decrease. You can't call something reinforcement if it's not increasing the behavior. So just one of the things I used to do when I kind of realized to certain students that did not like to be called out, that they're doing a good job. Usually if I'm walking around the classroom, I would just have a small group of students that I see, being a exceptional student teacher at the time. I only had a small caseload within the classroom, and I would walk by and I would just look. My student made that eye contact. I'll give him like a thumbs up when he could see it like this, give him the nod, and him or she would give me the nod, and that's all they needed to keep going. You would just see them, they would just keep going. But that's what they wanted, because for them, if you call them out that they're doing a good job, to their friends, maybe they think they're cool because they don't do their work. And a lot of times the smartest person in the classroom just doesn't do the work because to them, kids make fun of them. You just have to know your students. That's building on the relationships. So that's just all about, in a short form, reinforcement, punishment. I'll be back again next week, and we'll talk about another life hack with applied behavior, science of applied behavior analysis. All right, y'all have a good day.